The Boy Who Cried Wolf. A slow English story, A2 level, third-person narrative. Long ago, there was a small village near some green hills. The village was quiet and peaceful. Farmers worked in the fields every day, and many families kept sheep. In that village lived a young shepherd boy named Leo. Leo's job was to watch the sheep. Every morning, he walked with the sheep to a hill outside the village. The sheep needed fresh grass, and the hill was full of green grass. Leo carried a small stick and a bag with some bread for lunch. When the sheep reached the hill, they spread out and began to eat. Leo sat under a tall tree and watched them. His job was simple but important. If a wolf came from the forest, it could attack the sheep. Leo had to shout for help so the farmers could come quickly. In the beginning, Leo tried to do his job well. He watched the sheep carefully. He listened to the wind moving through the grass. He looked at the clouds moving slowly in the sky. But after many days, Leo began to feel bored. The hill was very quiet. The sheep only ate grass. They did not talk. They did not play games. They just walked slowly and ate grass all day. Leo had no one to talk to. He felt lonely. One afternoon, Leo stood up and looked toward the village. He suddenly had an idea. It was not a wise idea, but Leo did not think about the result. He took a deep breath and shouted loudly, "Wolf! Wolf! Help! A wolf is attacking the sheep!" His voice traveled down the hill to the village. The farmers heard the boy's cry. They were shocked. "A wolf!" one farmer shouted. The farmers quickly dropped their tools. They ran up the hill as fast as they could. They wanted to protect the sheep. Soon the farmers reached the top of the hill. They looked around quickly, but they saw no wolf. The sheep were calm. They were still eating grass quietly. The farmers looked at Leo. Leo suddenly began to laugh. "There is no wolf," he said. "I just wanted to see you run." The farmers were not amused. They looked tired and angry. One farmer spoke in a serious voice. "Leo, this is not a joke. We ran here to help you." Another farmer shook his head. "You must not lie about danger." Leo only smiled. The farmers slowly walked back to the village. The next day, Leo was on the hill again with the sheep. The wind moved gently through the grass. The sheep walked slowly across the field. Leo sat under the tree. Again, he felt bored, very bored. Then he remembered the farmers running up the hill the day before. It had looked very funny. Leo laughed quietly to himself. Then he stood up and shouted again, "Wolf! Wolf! Help me!" In the village, the farmers heard his voice again. Some of them looked at each other. "Is it real this time?" one farmer asked. Another farmer said, "We must go and check." So they ran up the hill again. They were breathing hard when they arrived. But once again, there was no wolf. The sheep were peaceful. Leo was laughing loudly. "I fooled you again," he said. This time the farmers were very angry. One farmer pointed his finger at Leo. "If you lie again, no one will believe you," he said. The farmers turned around and walked back to the village. Leo watched them leave. Soon the hill became quiet again. The afternoon passed slowly. The sun began to move lower in the sky. The air became cooler. Leo was sitting under the tree when he suddenly heard something strange. A soft sound came from the bushes. Rustle, rustle. Leo stood up. He looked toward the tall grass. Suddenly, a large gray wolf walked out from the bushes. This time it was real. The wolf's eyes were sharp and hungry. The sheep began to move nervously. Some sheep started to run. Leo felt his heart beating very fast. He was very scared. Leo shouted as loudly as he could, "Wolf! Wolf! Help! There is a wolf!" His voice traveled down the hill again. In the village, the farmers heard him, but this time they did not run. One farmer sighed. "It is probably another joke." Another farmer shook his head. "Leo lies too often." So the farmers stayed in the village. No one went up the hill. On the hill, Leo kept shouting, "Please help! The wolf is here!" But no one came. The wolf ran toward the sheep. The sheep ran in all directions. Leo tried to scare the wolf away, but he was only a young boy. The wolf caught one sheep and ran back into the forest. Soon the hill became quiet again. The wind moved softly through the grass. The sky slowly turned orange as the sun went down. Leo sat on the ground. He felt sad and ashamed. He finally understood his mistake. When someone lies again and again, people stop believing them, even when they tell the truth. Leo looked toward the village far away. He wished he had never lied. From that day on, Leo always told the truth, and he never cried wolf again.